Everyone, and welcome back to Clark Sports Cards. Today we're going to do something a little bit different on the channel. Normally I just rip products a lot, do a little bit talking about cards and everything like that, but mainly ripping products and looking at new products coming out on the market. But today I thought we would dive into a little bit in the football rookie class. We're going to call this Rookie Review a little bit. Here lately a lot of playoff has hit the market, so I ripped a lot of playoff, and so what I did is I separated some of my rip cards into 4 different categories: quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs, and then others, which is mainly your defense. I did include some tight ends on the wide receivers just because of receiving basically, but I wanted to kind of give my take on the cards and as far as value currently and possibly in the future as well out of the 2020 rookie class. So let's start with some of the basics. Let's go with the other category, which is defense. I didn't pull a lot of cards out of the defense, and I'll try to give my top 5 that I'm collecting currently and my take on them. Just my opinion, so you can take it for what it's worth. But there's not a lot of defense players that you actually look at to collect simply because the card value doesn't go up that much. But out of the 2020 class, I did pick up 5 different rookies that I feel that could make an impact on a team, or cards that could be worth value if it is in that case with defense. So the 5 that I picked is Derrick Brown for the Panthers, defensive tackle. Another defensive tackle of Javon Kinlaw for the 49ers. Isaiah Simmons, a linebacker for the Cardinals. Jeff Okudah, cornerback for the Lions. And then, of course, Chase Young. Now, like I said, I pulled all these out of playoffs, so some of these base cards, I tried to keep them all in the base series just for looking at, but I didn't pull any base Chase Young, which you'll see in the other ones as well. And there's some I haven't even pulled any in playoffs, so I had to bring it in from Absolute. So out of these 5, I would like your take on what you would think the best 5 cards would be out of the defense-wise. This is my personal opinion. I would put Jeff Okudah as the number 5 pick, so we'll put him right over here. Good cornerback for the Lions. My 4th pick, and I've already seen him make some impact a little bit, is Javon Kinlaw for the 49ers, another defensive tackle right there. Good, strong defensive man up front. And I forgot to put in my playoff review, but there are goal line inserts and stuff like that, or parallels and stuff like that within this product. So, take it for what it's worth. But I did put Javon Kinlaw at number 4. My number 3rd pick is for the Panthers, and that is Derrick Brown. Good, solid up front guy, defensive tackle as well. As you can see, pretty hard to move that bad boy, and so he can create some problems. Kinlaw is a little bit slimmer. He can move a little bit faster. Derrick Brown can as well, but he's a lot bigger. Good run stopper as well. So I would put Derrick Brown at the number 3 slot. Now, everyone knows this was one of the top picks in the draft, Chase Young, and then Isaiah Simmons was on down a little bit. But my take at the number 2 spot is Chase Young. Chase Young is a good defensive front line guy and does create a bunch of havoc in the end area. I do like him a lot, but there is one player that I like better. I'll put him in the number 2 spot, and that's Isaiah Simmons. I see a big, bright future for Isaiah Simmons. Seems like this guy can play anything from a possible rusher on the line to a linebacker, which is where he's currently playing, I think, a cornerback possibly, and then a safety. So, he can do it all just about. I would put him as the number 1. So that's my take on the defensive players for this year's rookie class. Isaiah Simmons 1, Chase Young 2, Derrick Brown 3, Javon Kinlaw 4, and then Jeff Okudah number 5. So that takes care of our defense. So my next category is running back. Running back had a pretty good class in this. I gathered 9 total that we're going to consider, and I'll take the top 5 and put them out there. But here's the 9 that I considered: Jonathan Taylor, D. Swift, Joshua Kelly, Zach Moss, A.J. Dillon, Cam Akers, and I didn't pull any of this in playoffs, like I said, yet. So Antonio Gibson, that's absolute. And let me turn on one more light here so I can see it a little bit better. J.K. Dobbins and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Some of these are already in card savers. You can see they're probably getting ready to go off to be graded and stuff like that. So I had to pull from that stack just to make up for that. So a lot of good running backs out of these positions. This is my personal take on the top 5. And there's some of these that could develop a lot better. So I'm going to give you an example. A.J. Dillon is a good running back, but he's hampered by somebody in front of him with Aaron Jones, who is just on fire. So, yeah, you can't really move him ahead or consider that, because I look at also what he's got coming down the road, who's he got to beat out, possible trade scenarios, quarterbacks, how good the team is, so forth and so on. So another good person is Zach Moss, but he's kind of like a little bowling ball. He doesn't really got the all-around features to him, in my opinion, and plus he's got Singletary that he's got to combat against in the Buffalo. Does good, but he's a split back right now currently. So here's my take. At number 5, I actually picked Cam Akers, a good running back for the LA. They are having a little bit of problems there, but I think he's still a very good selection, and I have a lot of faith in Cam Akers. And that's saying a lot, considered this is a pretty deep running back class here. But I picked Cam Akers, all-around running back, at our number 5 selection. At the number 4 selection, I picked Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor, he got a start with Marlon Mack down a little bit and showed a lot of promise on there. Still got a lot of learning to do, but I think he's a good all-around back, pass-catching back out of the backfield, also a good runner. As long as he can stay healthy, Jonathan Taylor, I think, will be a good slot at the number 4 pick. Now we get down to it, the top 3. The top 3 is almost obvious with a lot of people, and unfortunately, it's none of these. D. Swift, Joshua Kelly, Zach Moss, or A.J. Dillon for me. It's in these 3. Antonio Gibson, J.K. Dobbins, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. At the beginning of the year, this was the card to get. This card you hardly ever heard of that much, Antonio Gibson. So, be it as it may, based on performance, hype, team, how they should do in the future and everything like that, this is my ranking. At the number 3 position, I'm putting J.K. Dobbins. I really like this running back. I think he fits nicely with the Baltimore, but it all depends a lot on what Lamar Miller can do and how his future is with Lamar Miller, how good J.K. Dobbins can do. They kind of complement themselves a lot, and I think he's a very good running back. So I'm putting J.K. Dobbins at the number 3 spot. So we got 1 and 2. Which one would you pick? My pick for the number 2 spot is Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's on a team that is just an offensive juggernaut. He's always going to play a factor. And to put more emphasis on him, they brought in Le'Veon Bell, and he pretty much just consumed. They started off with split carries, and now he's still consumed about 80% of the carries. That's just how much faith they give in Clyde Edwards-Helaire. If you mean Kareem Hunt, that was in the Chiefs organization before they let him go, he's almost exactly like him, and he produced very well. Very good numbers, not too prototypical, smash back out of the backfield, but he's a very good catcher out of the backfield, which is what the Chiefs are all about. Speed, running, not as much as pounding it down on the middle. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to be good. I put him at the number 2 spot. And number 1 spot, I'm putting Antonio Gibson. This guy, for a team that he's playing on right now and the record, he's doing phenomenal. I have a lot of confidence in Antonio Gibson. Just think if he was on even a better team, offensive line, or a quarterback situation that's even better, what kind of numbers he could produce. It's fathomable what he can actually do. He's a good running back. He is my pick at the number 1. This is one that I'm investing in more than other. And to be honest with you, his card value probably is not as high as Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So he's a good cheap buy, along with J.K. Dobbins right now. Jonathan Taylor as well, maybe Cam Akers. But, I mean, these two and this one, that one's a little bit starting to go up a lot higher. But, I mean, especially these for the price. J.K. Dobbins and Jonathan Taylor, you can't go wrong with the price per card on those that you can get out on eBay or whatever. But Antonio Gibson is my number one pick. So, in the rookie running backs, Cam Akers, Jonathan Taylor, J.K. Dobbins, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and then Antonio Gibson. So if you see me grading cards, you'll see some of these cards pop up quite frequently that I'll be sending off for grading. Also, if you see me in chance buying cards, you'll see that I normally will be buying some of these cards in the market as well and collecting and throwing them into my PC or for grading. So the next selection, we're going to save our quarterbacks till last, is our wide receivers. Now this wide receiver class is like, oh my gosh, there's so many good wide receivers out of this class. It's hard to really narrow down the top 5, but I did pull out just 11. I know 11 sounds like a lot of numbers, but these are all good wide receivers out of each team that actually can produce and can have a good career in the NFL. Michael Pittman Jr. for the Colts, good wide receiver. Denzel Mims, just think if he had a quarterback that could throw to him or get him the ball a little bit more that complements a running game, how good he could be. Van Jefferson, another good quarterback, wide receiver. T. Higgins, Brandon Ayuk, Chase Claypool, Cole Kmet. He's a tight end. I threw him in here, but he still plays kind of like a wide receiver / tight end position as well. But Cole Kmet, very good. Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb. I didn't have a base of that, so this is a Jerry Jeudy. It's still out of playoff, but it's kind of like insert rookie card. And then a Henry Ruggs III. There's a total of 11 here. It's hard to really pick which ones you think will produce dominance in the NFL. But there is a glimmer in some of these, and you've seen some of their produce and what they've done thus far that kind of can lead you into investing a little bit. Let's start off with our top 5 a little bit, and at the number 5 position, which ones would you pick? And share it, post it up on the channels and stuff like that. Even put it in the comments below, your top 5 in each position. See if we agree or disagree in certain stuff, because it's always good to talk about certain stuff and the investment opportunities you might see in ball cards. At the number 5 position, I put T. Higgins. The reason being is Joe Burrows. Now, I know Joe Burrows is hurt, but he is supposed to be back next year. I don't think it's a career injury by any stretch of the imagination. He's a young rookie, a good slashing rookie. Showed a lot of promise once Burrows was active and what he can actually do. I think they'll complement each other a lot, and I think that he'll produce some solid numbers next year. So he is my number 5 pick, T. Higgins. So we'll put him right there. The number 4 selection. It's almost like when you look at these wide receivers, you almost have to have a good quarterback in order for someone to throw the ball to you. Because a lot of it's dependent on the quarterback play to get the ball to the receiver. At the number 4 position, my pick is, where's he at? Yeah, there he is. Chase Claypool. As long as Big stays healthy, Chase Claypool is a touchdown magnet. He can do what all the other ones can't do as much, and that's score. He's a good possession receiver. Maybe not the flashiness that you might see, but he still catches a ball. You can see he had at Notre Dame 13 TDs at Notre Dame right there. At Notre Dame. So, yeah, Chase Claypool, a dominating wide receiver, and I think he's got a lot of years ahead of him. If you look at it, I hope you don't turn into like Juju did when they had Antonio Brown and Juju, the second wide receiver, which is somewhat like Chase Claypool. Juju went crazy that year, and then when he turned into the number 1, he's not done as much. Now Chase is actually starring a lot in that role. So I picked Chase Claypool as my number 4 wide receiver. We'll put him right there. All right, so the top 3. Now this might surprise some people, but these are my top 3 that I put out there. Some of them might not. These are all good wide receivers that I left out of the top 5. Henry Ruggs, good wide receiver. Jerry Jeudy, a lot of promise. Cole Kmet, a good tight end. Van Jefferson, Denzel Mims, and Michael Pittman. All of these are good wide receivers, and all of them are good buy low candidates that possibly could turn into a great wide receiver. A lot of these are dependent upon change in the NFL or just a good quarterback play. Some of these teams are questionable. As you can see, the quarterback play, the Raiders, the Denver Broncos, the Bears, the Rams, the Jets, and the Colts. All these are a little up in the air. Some of them are not, but I had to go with these as my top 3 wide receivers. And this might surprise some people a little bit, maybe. I don't know as well. You put me your top 3 down there. At the number 3 spot, I put Brandon Ayuk with the Yak team. This is a playmaker. This reminds me a lot of Tyreek Hill. I like to watch a lot of football. I think that he could be something like Tyreek Hill. Not as fast. He's not as fast as the cheetah, but he is a very good possession and a good burner on the end. He's a playmaker. He gets the ball in his hands. He makes things happen. Quarterback play with Jimmy G out, that hurt him a little bit, but he still can play slots. He can come over the end. He's not afraid to get the ball and make things happen. A lot of tacklers miss him. I like him. He's part of the Yak team. I might be a little biased because that's my second favorite team is the 49ers, but I'm excited about this guy. I think he's got good potential, and it's an extremely low value card. Brandon Ayuk, my number 3 wide receiver. Now, probably who's doing the best right now currently in NFL is Justin Jefferson. He is on fire. I think he's already got 1,000 yards. I could be wrong, but go back and check his stats. I think he's already got 1,000 yards already. Doing excellent play. But I really like CeeDee Lamb. At the number 2 spot, I'm putting Justin Jefferson. The reason being is possible a little bit of quarterback play. He's still got a good quarterback, and he's a heck of a good wide receiver, but I gave the nod barely, and I'll put him at the number 2 spot, Justin Jefferson. I gave the nod to CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb, if Dak, when he comes back, he is going to be, I think, the number 1 wide receiver in the class. I actually had him on my fantasy football team and drafted him down low and got him, and he was on fire at the beginning of the year until Dak got hurt. I'm talking about possession after possession, scoring TDs. Now he's gone down a lot, so his card value has gone down some, which is reflective of Dak being out. But I still think he's the number 1 wide receiver in this class. My pick for number 1 wide receiver is CeeDee Lamb, and I'm putting him at the number 1 spot. So that's my take on wide receivers. A lot of good wide receivers out there, but some of these top 5 right here I think are some of the best right there. So CeeDee Lamb, number 1, Justin Jefferson, 2, Brandon Ayuk, 3, Chase Claypool, 4, and T. Higgins at the number 5 spot. You might disagree. That's just my take. All right, last is the quarterback play. This is a lot easier. I just picked out 9 quarterbacks. These are some of the well-known quarterbacks that's come out this year. Some of them not even playing. They're just bench at this time waiting for something to happen or make their way in. But we've got James Morgan for the Jets, Tommy Stevens for the Saints, Jacob Eason for the Colts, Jalen Hurts for the Eagles, Jake Fromm for the Bills, Justin Herbert, Jordan Love, Tua, and Joe Burrow. So out of these, all of them are good wide quarterbacks, but there's some that definitely stands out and are currently doing good in the NFL, and some that just need a little bit of edge to get their part in. So these are my pick on the top 5 quarterbacks. It was hard, but I took out James Morgan. I took out Tommy Stevens and took out Jacob Eason and Jake Fromm. So those 4 went away to leave me with my top 5. This guy, you never know. If they get displeased with Sam Darnold, could come in at any time. Same thing with Tommy Stevens, even though I don't know. He's kind of way on down a little bit. Jacob Eason, you never know once Phillip Rivers leaves. And then Jake Fromm, he's got a hard road to hoe in front of the Bills quarterback. So, but these are my top 5 right here. Jalen Hurts, Herbert, Love, Tua, and Burrows. At my number 5 spot, I picked Jordan Love. Jordan Love is in a backup scenario with Aaron Rodgers. If he gets to play, he could be the next Aaron Rodgers, just like he took over, like Aaron Rodgers took over for, I can't even think now, for the quarterback for the Packers. Oh my gosh, his name has just left me. Anyway, he's very good skilled quarterback. Learning the system a lot before he gets to play is going to help him a lot, and he's very mobile quarterback, kind of like Aaron Rodgers. So the next, maybe in 2 to 3 years, you might see some Jordan Love pop up. But right now is a good buy low candidate for Jordan Love at the number 5 spot to me. At the number 4 spot, I picked, of course, Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is going to get the start here very soon because they're displeased with Carson Bench, whatever you want to call him. The story's still out on him. When he come in last week, he done pretty good. So my pick at the number 4 spot is Jalen Hurts. Very good quarterback. Now, this is kind of like depending on who you like. Either one of these could be number 1, number 2, or number 3. This is my take. At the number 3 spot, I put Tua. I think Tua's got a lot of learning to do. I don't think he has the awesome skill set that these other two do as far as rookie. I think he's more of a runner. Not as much as a pocket passer as the other two, which kind of hurts him a little bit. Could be a limited shelf life on him, but he's still a darn good quarterback. And if he can get to the level where he's more of a pocket passer and less with the running a little bit, you never know. A little lefty quarterback there. Tua at the number 3 position. Dolphins does hurt him though, even though they're doing pretty good right now. And the number 1 and 2. A lot of people now are putting him at number 1 and Burrows at number 2 or 3. My take is not that. I'm putting Justin Herbert at the number 2 position. I don't know. It's close, but I just have a feeling there's something special about Joe Burrows. I think that he is the passer of the future for the Bengals for sure. I think that he will not only have compliments with Higgins on his side, but he's also a darn good passer. The only problem with him is he's got to learn to limit his mistakes. It cost him 1 or 2 wins this year, and then of course with his injury is the only question mark a little bit. But his cards have gone down some now, so now's a good time to probably sneak in and buy some Joe Burrow's cards because they have gone down in the market, and I still think he's the number 1 quarterback out of this class. Not surprisingly, he was picked at the highest, but still, he's got a lot of skill sets that I think is going to be a long-term quarterback. I'm talking like 10 to 15 years. So that's my take on the number 1. So, your comments below on the thing. What is your pick? Your top 5 in each position: quarterback, wide receiver, running back, and then, of course, the defense. What do you think? Is my picks way off? Are they pretty close? Or what? What's your opinion? Put it in the comments below. I always like interaction with the card community, but this is my opinion, and for what it's worth, is what I'm collecting. So the 2020 rookie class is strong across the board. That's why the increased prices are in every type of product. So grab you some Playoff, grab you some Prism if you can find it. Grab some Absolute, some Donruss, whatever. Collect some of these cards. You'll be surprised at the value that some of these cards will have 2 to 3 years down the road, and even now. So thanks a lot for stopping by. Hit that subscribe button below. We'll be ripping some products this week. I got a team break coming this Monday. $6 per random team, football and baseball, this coming Monday. PayPal is there. In the prior video, comment below on how many you want. It's getting close to getting filled. Like to get it filled. I'm giving away 1 baseball free random team for anybody who's in it, and also 1 free football team as well. So thanks a lot for stopping by. Once again, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notifications anytime I post a video, breaking, Pack Wars, whatever. I love to foresee there on live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday the 14th as we're doing our team break. Thanks a lot for stopping by. Y'all keep on ripping. Clark Sports Cards out.